write down any questions for you.
I know you didn't.
Okay.
You were supposed to.
I was busy editing a TikTok.
You had one job. Hello, I'm Nick.
And I'm Beka.
And this is Chaos and Chill by Advancing Aiden. I bring the chill. It's backwards, but...
It is backwards.
It's probably the most relevant.
That's the most relevant for you? Do it right. Try again.
Fine. She brings the chaos and I bring the chill.
Thanks. All right, everyone. Hi, I'm Beka. This is Nick, my husband. We own Advancing Aiden. If you followed us on TikTok or Instagram or on Facebook or YouTube, you are used to seeing us. But if you haven't, hi. We're a husband and wife team.
Literally anywhere.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. We're a husband and wife team. What else do we want to tell them? By the way, we got to show off the sweatshirts before we get into the podcasting. You see, I'm super happy with them. They're super cute. Mine is, this is what happens when you have an ADHD wife who gets in the small business world. I designed it chaos state. All of my light bulbs are all like a mess except for this one, and this one's turned off. And his is, he's got a lamp that functions. I'm pretty sure that tells you everything you need to know about us.
Maybe.
But let's talk about the podcast. So we started a podcast because people ask us a lot of questions that we can't cover in a 1 minute or 3 minute video on TikTok.
Or lives.
Generally
doing something when you're live, so...
That and I really wanted to be able to edit it. It gives us better control. So we wanted to do a lifestyle podcast. The topics are going to be just as chaotic as our business. We're going to talk about...
Not too chaotic. There will be a little bit of structure. We got a business to run.
We do. We do have a business to run. So let's tell them about the business. You tell the story.
You want me to tell the story?
If you can. I dare you. Can you? I'll edit that out.
So we started in 2019. You were just getting into the crafting. The cups.
Mm-hmm.
You were just starting out with making cups.
I made it. Yep, I started out making epoxy cups. You talked to them about it. I may even have one of my first cups here.
You do.
I do.
So we started it to pay our daughter's NICU bills because she was an expensive baby who could not wait to come enjoy the world with...
You made me my very first Turner, didn't you?
Mm-mm. You bought one. You bought a 3D printed one.
Oh, that's right. I did buy the 3D printed.
A couple of them.
Yep. And then you made me a wood one in our garage.
It was fucking terrible.
It was.
I had the idea and the vision in my head.
This
and I just didn't execute.
Is my very first tumbler that I have ever made, and it is horrifyingly terrible, you guys. It is lumpy. It is... Look at how bad that is.
That was before we had the cutter for the wrap, too.
It was, because I have
a cloth wrap. I don't even know where we bought it.
Fabric wrap. The colors are horrible. It has purple dinosaurs in it and glitter
we can zoom and post.
Oh, I'll overlay it in YouTube, a video of it. It's terrible. But I did bring you this one too. This is one of my in process cups. Look at the difference. Look at the difference.
I don't want to start any wars, and this can be edited out. But what epoxy did we use for this one? Because it looks like it's been hit by age. Father Time was not well.
That's a secret.
And
then I got into snow globe tumblers, and this one is my sarcasm and dark humor warms my heart in ways liquor and love just never could.
It's not true.
It is too true. But yeah, anyway, so there's the evolution of my crafting. Where'd you leave off? You told them that in 2019.
I said in 2019, you started making tumblers.
I did.
And then it expanded to glitter.
No, because for the longest time I said I was never going to sell glitter because actually I'm a glitter seller who hates glitter. Let's ignore what's behind us on the wall.
You did eventually go to glitter, though.
I did. We started selling the stainless steel blanks.
Did we do the blanks first?
We did the blanks first. We started selling the blanks.
I got the order wrong.
You did. It's okay. We started selling the blanks first, and then we expanded into glitter. And then... how do we want to address why we closed?
I would say people being assholes.
That seems pretty fair.
That's what it was.
Social
It was a lot.
Social media is a pretty ugly place.
There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there.
How do you feel about the keyboard warriors?
Why? Why put in all the effort to shit on someone else? Like, who cares? If you don't like me, bye-bye. Go away. I don't care.
You weren't even involved. When did you get involved in the business, really?
Yeah, I was barely involved. I was just I say lowly packing boy. I mean, I'm still partly a lowly packing boy. But
you're my favorite packing boy.
Oh, thanks.
Don't let Andrew hear me say that.
The door's closed. You'll be fine.
He's watching TV.
Yeah. I would say it's probably around this year. I mean, I would help like put labels on the glitter when we would get them in, or keep them organized, or I mean, not without direction, but it wasn't until this year, I would say. Pretty close to it.
I'd probably say last year when we launched. So we closed our business. We closed our business in April of 2021. So we closed in April of 2021, 2 years after we had opened. We were closed for almost a year, but we moved across the country, and I got a new job, and we moved back home. Actually, let's camp there for a second. So while we were not making content on TikTok for the business, I accidentally went viral for a couple of videos. They're no longer on my page. But I went viral for a series of, I want to say like 6 or 8 videos that were called Homeschooling Fucked Me Up and Here's Why. That was an experience. But
a lot of things to unwrap there, but that's a different story for a different time.
That's a different podcast episode. But so we moved back home to my hometown, which is a small town in Minnesota. My family's been here for, gosh, I don't even know how long. I'm not even going to try. My mom will correct me in the comments of the video.
If she watches.
She will.
Oh, then we should keep it PG.
I apologize in advance, Mom, for whatever you hear. So, fast forward. We were separated for 2.5 months.
It felt longer than that.
It did feel longer than that. The whole summer and into some of the fall of 2021, yep. We were separated. Not separated like we weren't married.
No.
But separated
physically.
Like, yes. I came out here for my job. I work in manufacturing as an engineer.
That was an unexpected turn of events. Also.
Yes.
Another time.
A different podcast episode. Let's start a drinking game with the Gremlins, and every time we say, "Well, that'll be a different episode," everybody take a shot. Let's see how drunk we are by the end of the episode.
Don't do that. That would be irresponsible.
But then we were reunited in late September of 2021, and we did not have any desire to do anything other than sleep. Go to work and sleep.
Well, for 2 months, you were here, 2.5 months, whatever we're settling on. You were here working by yourself. Yeah.
My dad was in the hospital. My dad, and in those 2.5 months, my aunt unexpectedly passed away from a heart attack. I was probably only in my 2nd week at the new job. And my uncle sent me a text, and he was like, "Hey, can you call me?" And I was like, "Sure." I figured it was no big deal, walked outside, called him, and that was not what I was expecting to hear. My mom, my older sister, and my dad all had COVID. My dad was hospitalized, 3 times?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
He got out because it was like, "Oh, you just have COVID, so go home."
Yep.
rest, and then it was
He was on oxygen for I want to say 4 weeks,
yeah,
maybe more.
and even then it was if you need it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was on oxygen longer than 4 weeks, and that was really difficult. Trying to buy a house at the same time.
When the housing market's on fire.
The housing market was on fire. We had a fantastic realtor, who, by the way,
Here.
Yes, here.
Not there.
That is going to be a whole podcast episode. I will tell you guys about what happened when we were moving, because people asked about it while I was, because I made some content but didn't really ever tell the story. But Dan Winters, if you're looking for a realtor in the Twin Cities area, Dan Winters Realty, which I will link in the show notes because Dan is phenomenal. Wonderful support through it all.
Yes.
That would be a different podcast episode. So then we got here. And the week after we moved in, I didn't even take how much time off I took off. I worked all day Monday. I drove my sister, who got married the week before I started my new job, and her husband drove out with us. Mm-hmm. They drove out with me, helped us pack up the house. We drove back out. We closed on a Friday. So 4 days, and I was back at work on Monday. And the week after that, I flew out to California on a business trip. Mm-hmm. It was a shit show, you guys. It was so stressful.
I mean, at that point, it was, I don't want to say relaxed, but we weren't trying to sell a damn house.
No, yes, you are correct. Awful. Yeah, you were single dadding it up with 4 dogs trying to sell a house.
4 dogs, 2 kids, and then getting the house ready.
Yeah, that was...
For 2.5 months.
Horrifying.
Exhausting.
Yeah. I don't think we've recovered yet. So I think it wasn't until... It was around Thanksgiving that we talked about selling glitter again. And we sold glitter... We released 5 bundles, and that was all we did. We released some exclusive bundles. That was when we rebranded the glitter to Legacy Glitter.
Yeah.
That was pretty emotional. We'll talk about the branding of it in a different episode. Surprise. And then you're working from home, and one of the decisions we made to open a storefront, which that'll be a whole episode telling the story of
another one
of the storefront.
We'll get there
in time. Was because you needed somewhere to work. You were working in the garage the first winter that you were working in the garage from home.
Manageable. It was cold.
Our electrical bill was not manageable. No. And so then we opened our storefront on our son's birthday of 2022. Just a little over a year from when we closed. And now we have a storefront in Forest Lake, and we sell glitter, which is what you see behind us on the wall. And this is only, like, a small portion.
There's some down there. There's some up there.
We sell,
There's some out there. This isn't even all of it.
No. We got into snow globes, which are these guys. And we sell we sell blanks, we sell glitter, we have crafts, classes start in February. We're
getting there.
I'm never going to put a date on when we're going to launch anything, because we were supposed to launch the podcast in October. So we're launching the podcast now. And that kind of is up to speed. So if you had to sum up Advancing Aiden in like 3 sentences, what would you say that we are? What is our business?
In 3 sentences?
Yes.
So we are a family-focused. It's 3. You gave me like.
I didn't say 3 words.
3 words would be so much easier than 3 sentences.
Okay, sum it up in 3 words then.
No. I'm going to have to. We're going to find a middle ground. I'll do 1 sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
It'd be like a family-focused business that centers around craft supplies and some finished goods. I don't know.
I think that's pretty good.
It could be like a veteran-owned small business or veteran-owned family business for craft supplies and...
I got one better for you.
Okay.
Veteran-owned, family-focused business by crafters for crafters.
There you go. That works.
Oh, God. We can't tell them all the secrets, but...
Well, then stop telling them all the secrets. We aren't doing anything. This is a you.
Okay, now that we told you guys a very disjointed history of how Advancing came to be and kind of what we're talking about with the podcast, we're going to wrap it up with a couple questions. My first question for Nick is, what was the hardest situation for you in the history of the business so far?
In the business, I would have to say, just trying to find more that I can do. Because it's hard when you're so far removed to do really anything. I mean, even then, like now, I'm trying to do more, but there are still things that I cannot do. Because the problem is, we don't have time for me to fiddle fuck around and figure it out.
Also, and he's just being nice, I'm kind of a control freak.
Well, I mean, yes, but there are still things I could do that would be reasonable and within control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but there's not enough time in the day for me to sit there on the computer and jump through settings and try to figure it out, how to do certain tasks. Whereas you just know them, so it makes sense for you to do them. Does not mean I shouldn't learn.
True.
Just have to find the time to do that.
This is true.
We don't have that.
We're working on it.
Not very often.
We're working on it.
So,
okay, what's your question for me?
why or what made you decide to start the business? What pushed you to that? There's a million other things. We could have both done DoorDash or something, like, you know what I mean? On the side. Why the business?
That's a really good question. I mean, we've talked about it. We did it because we were paying our daughter's NICU bills.
Yes.
She was a literal $1 million baby.
But we could have done that with DoorDash. You know what I mean? Like, why glitter?
Why glitter?
Why crafting supplies? Why cups?
It's going to sound really stupid, but it's the same reason why it's called Advancing Aiden. So the initials are for both the kids, Andrew and Aiden. Mm-hmm. And I originally wanted to name it Advancing Andrew and Aiden, but that was really long.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. And I was involved in some of the craft groups, and I saw creators that became so self-focused. I wanted to teach. I wanted to help other people. I wanted to do more than just make some pretty cups and make some money. It's going to sound harsh, and I don't mean it that way, but so I work in manufacturing. I've been around business for, most of my career. And what I really saw, and this sounds so shitty, was a community of small businesses. A lot of it, like, this is going to sound so shitty.
Just say it. We can redo it if we need to.
If I had to generalize the craft community in, like, 3 sentences, it's someone who realizes that they can make some money, which is fair. Again, let me couch all of this by saying all of this is fair. It is...
I mean, a lot of your local businesses were small businesses at one point, right?
The craft small businesses, Etsy shops, the shops that pop up on Facebook Marketplace or that start a website or whatever, they're like, oh, they get a Cricut or a Silhouette, or they figure out how to do t-shirts, and they're like, oh, I could make money doing this, and then bam, they start a business, but they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to file taxes. They don't know business boundaries. They don't know how to be business owners. And I wanted to have a place where not only could I teach people, because let's face it, I'm damn good at the crafts that I make. I'm good at what I do. But I'm really good at helping people run a business. Teaching them tips and tricks, helping them stabilize, helping them figure out how to be more efficient, helping them with I used to do Shopify tutorials and things like that. And I really started Advancing Aiden to advance other small businesses and not just my own. And I wanted to leave a legacy for my kids. I wanted it to be something the kids got involved in. I wanted it to be something that you got involved in.
Yeah.
And really, when I started expanding, that was really what it was all about, was being more than just a glitter company, being more than somebody who just sells you some pretty shit.
So why not? So all the things you learned, where did you learn them?
Some of it I taught myself. Some of it was college classes. Some of it was experience. Some of it was mentorship. Some of it was lots and lots of reading. Lots and lots of reading. YouTube University is a thing. TikTok University is a thing.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
That's what I'm saying, is when you started out, you didn't know anything about, you had a general idea of a small business, but not the actual, like, inner workings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of it you had to learn, too.
Yes.
So.
Yes. It's all true. There's a lot more to it than that, but come back next week to hear us talk about the rebranding and opening the storefront.
Disaster.
That story. Shit show. You want to talk about chaos and no chill. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'm Beka.
I'm Nick.
I hope you guys come back. Thanks for sharing this journey with us, and we'll see you next time.
There you go. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.